Over the past few months, I've been racing cross country in the process of qualifying for 2 national level races, the Inter-Counties and English Schools, with both being highly competitive, but in particular English Schools having athletes who will most likely go on to be future Olympians. So let's see how I can do. Alright, so jumping straight into things, and today is Thursday. It's 2 days out from the first cross country race, so I'm doing my final workout. Obviously, being 2 days out, I've got to make sure I don't go too hard, keep it fairly light in terms of pace. And the session is 3 times 3 500s. Gonna aim for around 5k pace, so 320 per kilometre. And then tomorrow will just be rest day before the race on Saturday. And yeah, legs feeling good, so let's get straight into the workout.
We're beginning to start our taper now. Oh Christ. Oh Dylan, this is poor.
It's fine, it'll look great.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Session done. Pace felt a bit faster than I would have liked, but it's also a lot faster than I'll be running for the cross country race. So, you know, and sometimes just the last workout before a race just feels terrible, and it's never a good indicator of how you actually do in the race. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now, all that's left to do is just refuel, get a good night's sleep, rest day tomorrow, catch up with you on the day of the race. Alright, so I'm in the car, it's race morning, and I just realised I didn't even mention what this race was, but this is the Inter-Counties for the UK, so it includes England, Scotland and Wales, and basically it is in a place called Woollerton Park in Nottingham. It's a course I've actually done before for the Inter-Counties, and actually English Schools was there a couple of years ago, which is the cross-country race I'm doing next week. And it's 8k, so there's this hill that I know I'm going to have to do 3 times, but you know what, everyone's got to do it, so, and I'm pretty strong uphill, so don't mind that. And then my legs are feeling pretty good, and we're about 2 hours out for the race, so I'm going to have my breakfast, which is some yogurt on top with granola, and of course the classic overnight oats. Alright, so I'm at the race. It's about 10-15 minutes before we start, and the conditions are actually looking really good. It's dry, there's very little wind, and it's a pretty good temperature actually. So this is the start. You literally immediately go up a hill, and I'm actually first in my pen, which means I'm gonna have to be fast at the start and just sprint out the start so that I give my team a good chance to get into a good position as well. And obviously I want to get into a good position myself, but I'm notoriously not that fast at starting, so it's going to be a bit of a spike in the heart rate at the beginning. But yeah, anyway, hopefully catch some race footage and you enjoy it. So as you can see, I was in the start and the very front of my pen, and there's quite a few people in this race, and like I said, it's very competitive. So yeah, gun went off and pretty much a sprint start, but let's see how it goes.
Come on, Alex! Come on, Chris! I'm Dylan!
So I should clarify, I was nowhere near the leaders, but that wasn't my goal, and I know I'm not fast enough anyway. I just wanted to make sure I have a good performance ahead of next week's English Schools race.
We're taking, aren't we? This is good. Good lad. Get up those places. Good lad, Dylan. See what you can do. See what you can do.
Alright, I just finished my race, about to get a cool down in, and I'm pretty happy with it actually. 3:39 average pace, which is actually pretty good for cross country, about my half marathon. About my half marathon pace, and I got out a bit slow. Right, so I'm back in the car on the way back now because the guy on the loudspeaker was just cutting me up, so I couldn't actually tell you anything. But basically, I was just saying that I was really happy with my race because actually, although I had a bit of a slow start, a 3:30 first kilometer, which isn't that bad considering how hilly it was for the first kilometer, but given it's also cross country and how fast everyone out, it meant that I did get stuck behind people and slowed down a bit, but it meant that I was actually overtaking people the entire race. I probably gained about 50 positions, which is actually like very good, and it was quite motivating to just constantly going past people rather than getting overtaken. And yeah, like I said, 3:39 kilometer pace for almost 8k, over 120 meters of elevation. To be fair, the conditions were very good. It's just like, you know, just quite hilly, so probably evens out in that respect. But yeah, overall pretty happy with it. Very strong performance, and not like a max 10 out of 10 effort, just a good strong hard effort ready for next week. Alright, so it is Thursday. It's in between the two races now. I'm 2 days out from the second big race, and I bet you're wondering, how have I managed to taper for 2 races that are a week apart?
Right.
Because obviously, if you got a race earlier and then later, you can potentially be too flat for that second race if you taper too much for the first one. And so that meant that I basically had to reduce my mileage slightly, but not too much for the first race. And then I've reduced it even more for this upcoming race in 2 days' time. So what that looked like is that on my Monday, instead of doing a usual 60-minute elliptical in the morning and a 60-minute easy run in the afternoon, I just scrapped the elliptical entirely and just did the easy run. And on Tuesday, I reduced my morning run from 50 to 40 minutes. And in the session in the evening, I reduced down the volume and specifically the intensity of that session. And on Wednesday, again, I have a 60-minute easy run, but I reduced that down to 50 minutes. And I have a strength session in the evening, which I lowered the weight and the sets to lower the volume as well. So that wasn't too fatiguing. And then today was Thursday, so I did another pre-race session. And I did 3 times 1k and 4 times 200 meters. And it's pretty windy, so the splits were all over the place, but overall, pretty decent, I'd say. And again, both Fridays will be rest days for the day before the race. I think it's worked pretty well because I was just about arrived fresh enough for last week's race, and already, like today, walking around, I could just notice my legs have a bit more energy. They're not super like poppy and springy yet, but that will probably come either tomorrow or the day of the race. And I think it's a good sign that the taper is working, and so hopefully means that I've done the right sort of thing. But I'll catch up with you tomorrow to go through a bit more extra details and some important information about the race. Because it is now Friday, and unfortunately I can confirm I'm unable to travel down with the rest of the team from my county on the coach to stay overnight in the hotel near the venue, because unfortunately I also work on a Friday evening and I wasn't able to get the time off work, which is annoying. But luckily I can actually still not have to wake up too early tomorrow morning to travel down on the day of the race, because although it is in Liverpool, which is like a 3-hour drive, I think I'm the last race, which is at 3 o'clock. So luckily I don't have to wake up too early. And in terms of what I'll be doing today to make sure that I'm all ready and prepped for tomorrow, well, I've just finished cleaning my very muddy from last week cross-country spikes. They're still kind of muddy, but most of it is off, and I'm just going to put them in the airing cover to dry. I've got my bag all ready with my vest top and my Northants jumper. And I've been doing some food prep for tonight's dinner and tomorrow's lunch. Exactly the same thing, just white rice, sweet potato, chicken and peppers. And then other than that, obviously after work, I'll be making sure to get a nice early night, so I'm in bed for about 9.5 hours and get hopefully a good 9 hours of actual sleep. And then I'll talk you through a few more details, either on the way to the race or at the race venue itself tomorrow. Finally, the time has come and I'm just at a garage on the way down to the venue. I'm going to pick up our grandparents as well because they live nearby, so they're going to come watch. And it's actually a really nice sunny day, not too cold either, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. The race itself is at a place called Sefton Park in Liverpool, and I'll be doing 6k. As I mentioned, the race is at 3:05, so I'll show you the course as I'm doing my warm-up. Alright, so we've arrived at the race venue, just about to find our club tent, to find our county, because this is clearly where everyone's pitched, and you've got the course just over that way there. Alright, so just on my warm-up now, nice sunny day, looking around the course, and it looks like a very fast course. It is very flat for cross country, not that muddy either, so yeah. As you can see, not particularly muddy, very flat. The start is just running straight down this hill, so it's going to be an insanely fast start. I reckon the first kilometre will be like a 2:40 something for the leaders.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Which is insane, but yeah, obviously, like I said, it's only 6k, which isn't too long, but obviously will definitely be the fastest age because of the oldest one now. So yeah, be interesting to see where I place, because there's so many runners. There's going to be like around 300ish. So honestly, if I could get top 50%, I'd be percent, not numbers. I'll actually be well chuffed for that. So yeah, see what we can do.
Away they go, the final race, the senior boys race of the English Schools Cross Country Championships of 2026 here at Sefton Park in the city of Liverpool. And you can see it's very, very even at the start. The athletes all converging towards the middle, gaps to the right and the left of the main field as they come down towards this first corner and will sweep round to the left. I think I saw the figure of Alex Lennon there glancing down at his watch. So it'll be interesting to see where he is when our camera picks him up after the first corner.
Go on, Dylan! Go on, Dylan! Come on, Freddie! Go on, Nathan! Go on, Dylan! Go on, T! Go on, Josh! Go on, Nathan! Go on, Freddie! Go on, Freddie! Go on, Nathan! Well done! Come on, Dylan! Come on, Dylan! Go on, Dylan! Go on, Dylan! Let's push! Come on! Come on, Josh! Come on, Nathan! Well done! Go on, Freddie! Go on, Dylan! Go on, Dylan! Right to the end! Good lads! Right, just finished. It was actually a really hard race in terms of, because it was such a fast course, it just meant that everyone was like packed up together, and I just cannot sprint at the start. It's not that I'll tire myself from going out too fast, it's that I physically cannot go out that fast. So it felt like I was doing an 800 or 1500 meter race for the first like minute, and I just got overtaken by so many people that, again, like I said last week, it was just me overtaking people for most of the race. So it wasn't much quicker than my race last week, but in terms of how I raced it, I think I raced it a bit better, because I still pushed myself harder, and it felt like I was just with people a lot more of the time, and I wasn't, first time ever in a race where I didn't look at my watch once, because I just focused on the race. But overall, great experience. It was my last one, so I wanted to give it my all, and definitely did maybe a bit too much, because if you look, you have about a 300 meter stretch down, and then you turn and the last 300 back. And I didn't think it was going to be that long, but I basically really pushed it on that last 200 meter down, and then the 300 meter sort of uphill to the finish, I just completely died, and I ended up getting overtaken by about 7 people because I did not have a sprint finish in me. And so I was trying to motivate myself at that point, just saying, come push it, it's your last one. You don't want to feel like you didn't give it your all, and my legs just could not speed up. So it is what it is, but it wasn't a bad performance, just it's annoying when, you know, you're positioning, like, you can't help but like get into a bad position. Alright, it is the next day. I'm just doing my easy long run, and I just thought I'd quickly give my true thoughts about the race now that I've had a bit more time to reflect on it. And I am still fairly happy with it, but I'm just a bit disappointed that part of my positioning was just dictated by the fast start, and then ultimately it meant that I didn't get as good a result in terms of like time and finishing position as I perhaps could have. But I can't really help that, and it just means I need to work on my speed a bit more, and that's what I'm going to be doing going forward, because I'll be transitioning into track season now. So I'll be looking to do some shorter, faster stuff, and I'll have some still race videos, but shorter race videos, maybe some more steeplechase. You know, I'll have to do that mile race again and see if I can redeem myself. But yeah, hope you enjoy this one. I still have to point out, still enjoy both these races a lot. You know, it is a very high level racing, this school. It's like they were saying the guy who won it, or sorry, one of the guys who did, like they'd won the European qualifiers. So that's like insane level. So yeah, it's still a great chance to compete at such an event, and I hope you enjoyed watching it too. So yeah, just don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one.